All right. Let's see here. And I think we're live. We are live, Mike.
Hello.
So, welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. My name is Ray. Half of the Nashville Flippers, Dustin, will probably join us today. Probably not, depending on how he feels. He's out playing golf. That is one of his hobbies that he gets to enjoy. But I'm here, nonetheless. I'm here with I wouldn't say a good friend yet, Mike, but I feel like we're probably going to be some good friends in the near future. But I'm here with Mike with Jiggly.Thrift on TikTok and Jiggly.Thrift on Instagram. Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, YouTube as well. It's not. I'll post some TikToks and stuff on there, but I don't go too crazy on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a grind for sure to be on YouTube. But if you guys want to go follow Mike on all of his social media platforms, we do have them linked down in the description below. So give him a shout for sure. So Mike.
Yes.
So we were talking a little bit before we went live. So I discovered you on TikTok and just randomly on my For You page with and I love seeing new resellers on TikTok. You know, it's a really good community. Everyone kind of helps each other out and stuff like that. So it's really cool. But I don't know, man. Something about your video, and it was your video, again, I'm pretty sure it was your video having to do with the insoles.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I just felt like this, a really good vibe and energy from you. I don't want to be like that guy, saying that. But I felt like, you know what I mean? I could tell that you knew what you were talking about. And I don't know. And I said, hey, I got to have this guy on the pod for sure. So
well, I appreciate it so much. Like I was telling you, it's just been crazy, the support so far. Like I don't know. Like I said, I go to bed and then I'll wake up to 800-900 new people following me, or I don't know. It's crazy. I never thought I'd even, post my first TikTok, and then I did, and then waited about 2 months, posted again, and then it was just like the support was just pouring in. So I've really been enjoying myself so far.
That's awesome, dude. So Mike, just tell us a little bit about yourself, dude. I know that you said you recently recently transitioned from part-time reseller to full-time reseller. So we'll definitely get into that later on in the pod. But tell us about yourself, dude. Like, how did you get into reselling? What made you want to get into reselling? How did you get your name, Jiggly.Thrift? Which I know I am a big Pokemon fan, so I think that's one of the reasons why I was like, I gotta have Mike on here to talk, a little bit about that. But just tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
All right. So I first started reselling. It started with Supreme, actually, like Supreme.
Oh, okay.
I pretty much, my friend Joe came into work one day, spilled some water in your beard.
I know. What's up? I like this. This cup is like leaking. I don't know what's going on. I literally, this is sidebar. I bought this cup at those Amazon liquidation stores. I got it yesterday. It's an Arctic, like a Yeti style cup. This is literally the first time I've drank out of it, and it's like, I don't know if the lid's defective or something, because you clearly saw the water not hit my mouth. But anyways.
But anyway, yeah, my friend Joe came into work and was like, hey, I heard about this brand called Supreme. I mean, he had known about it, but I really didn't. He's like, I'm going to start trying to resell some of it. So we would, every week on Thursday at 11, whenever the Supreme drop happened, try to get stuff to resell. And I'd mostly just be there for support, and he really got into it. But that's where it started. And then I'd say a few years passed, and then I got into selling Pokemon cards.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from. I went to the store. I'm like, I'm going to buy a binder and like $100 worth of packs. That was back whenever you could find like $100 worth of packs in the store. So yeah, I bought the cards, saved the ones I wanted, sold the rest, started buying like collections locally to resell cards. And then a few more years passed. I just quit reselling again, but it was always like in the back of my mind. And then finally, a year ago, a year ago in July, uh, I posted a Pokemon card of all things on eBay, and I posted it on the floor. And by the time I stood up, the card sold. So I was hooked from then.
That's
And I was
awesome.
selling like my own stuff, just stuff that I'd collected. Like, I haven't touched this in 5-6 months. I'm gonna sell it. So I had a nice little collection of like my own toys and like collectibles and stuff. And excuse me. That's where that's what I started selling. So that's where it all started.
That's awesome. So, do you remember what was the car that you sold that got you hooked?
I don't even remember at this point. I knew I I can't even say I really know how like eBay works. I mean, I do, but like I went back to look through and see like my first sale, and I guess you can only see like the past.
Yeah, you can only see like so many, especially if you're making a lot of sales. Because I think it's like like it has to do with how many you. I don't know. I don't get it. Well, same here. So,
I really scrolled back. I'm like, I wonder if I could see my first sale. I know it was a card, but
mhm.
yeah, I don't remember which one.
So you got into selling Pokemon before the pandemic because that's when you could actually find stuff online.
Yeah, I'd say like 4 years ago I got into it. Like again, because I was into it when I was a kid. I played like Pokemon Gold and stuff. I remember playing
Yeah,
that over and over again. But yeah, I got back into it probably 4 or 5 years ago now.
that's awesome. Well, I'm more of a collector on Pokemon than necessarily like buying and reselling Pokemon cards. But I don't knock the hustle. I don't knock you know people going out there buying and reselling stuff for sure. The only key advice that people always ask me because and I haven't posted any Pokemon content on my profile in a while, which I need to get back into doing that. But they ask me, what kind of card should I buy or whatever, and I tell them always buy, unless you're collecting. If you want to resell it, always buy vintage,
Mhm.
and if you can get it graded, that would be best, of course, and then just go that route. But nowadays, all the grading companies are closed, so you can't really do quick flips like you used to.
No, not as quick as you used to. But I mean,
Mhm.
even back in the day, it seemed like it took forever. I mean, it would take what 50 days or something, I think it was, and it felt forever. Felt like forever.
Oh yeah, now it's like 8, 9 months.
My last one, I think, was almost a year, and I said that's probably going to be my last one. Like, I'm not going to live out of that. You know, I have no interest in sending something away and waiting a year for it.
Unless it's something for your personal collection. Like I have some WWE cards that I want to send off and get graded only because I want it in a slab,
Hmm.
you know. So that's the only those will be part of my personal collection. So Mike, so you said that you got into reselling because of Supreme, or you just kind of knew of reselling because your friend was reselling Supreme.
That's how I kind of got into it. Like, that's like the first time I really heard of reselling anything, like
Mm-hmm.
buying something for retail to resell, not even like buying something from a thrift store to resell. That
Yeah.
was just the first form of
Just reselling like hype stuff. Did you
yeah.
ever get into like reselling sneakers at that time, or
No,
no, just straight up? And
I
I
mean,
think
pairs that I've sold that I just quit wearing and sold, but yeah, I never got into that. People are so crazy about the conditions and stuff. I
oh yeah.
don't know.
Well, I know that if you can see all these sneakers that are behind me that I still need a list. Um, yeah, that's a different. That's another story. But anyways, so if people don't know, eBay now has a. I guess they're doing like really trying to revamp their reselling sneakers kind of thing. So any sneaker that you sell that's over $100, depending on the sneaker, it goes into a second party authentication hub, So they look at it, make sure it's legit, and then they send it off to the buyer. And also, if you're the seller and if you sell any shoe over $100, the seller doesn't get charged any fees.
Just sneakers, though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, not like Dance Goes or anything like that.
I sold a pair of like New Balance, like sneaker boot type things, and I had them in the boot category, and they got me with the fees. I went on there.
Oh man, yeah.
Good.
Oh, that's a bummer. So if anybody's curious about that and they're selling sneakers, then eBay is a good place to sell them because there's no fees, especially if you're selling a sneaker that's $200 or $300. 13% can add up really quick.
Yeah.
So Mike, it is part of the next segment, the overrated, underrated, where we ask you 10 different things. You tell us your opinion and tell us, in your opinion, if it's underrated or overrated.
All right.
So, but before we get into that, we do want to make sure that everyone follows Mike on all of his social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Am I leaving anything out, Mike?
No.
Nope. Okay. And guys, we do have a sponsor in today's pod. We are getting sponsored by a good friend of ours, local store here in Nashville called Popping Off Toys. Your number one provider in anything Funko. You can pre-order your Funko Pops on here. And the really cool thing I like about Popping Off Toys, Mike, is that they have great packaging, especially, Funko Pops. Collectors are real, they're sticklers on how their boxes come arrive. So
one of the first I started selling.
What's that?
That's one of the first things I started selling, just Funko Pops from my collection. And yeah, people are very particular with that condition. I had to
exactly
custom box.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go to Popping Off Toys, we do have a discount code for you guys. The discount code is Nashville Flippers. If you use the discount code, you do get 10% off. So go and check out poppingofftoys.com for your Funko Pop needs. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Nashville Flippers, and subscribe to the podcast. This Week in Reselling. So, Mike.
Yes.
Overrated, underrated, sir.
I'm ready.
Goodwill. Overrated or underrated, in your opinion?
I really like selling shoes, and all the Goodwill in my area, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but all the Goodwills in my area just dropped the prices of shoes to $7. So I would say underrated. I've really been doing a lot of sourcing there. Just personally, I don't. It really doesn't seem like a lot of the people in the reseller community go to good. Like, of course, everyone goes to Goodwill, but I see a ton of like Savers and stuff.
Yeah.
Goodwill is definitely underrated. So,
dang. And we'll get into this because you said you specialize in reselling shoes. Especially,
I really like it. I'm trying.
Okay, and we'll get into that for sure. Because here, it depends on the shoe on how much it goes for. They're not all $7 like you said here, which sucks because I can get some pretty good shoes, but they're like, I've seen some up to like $20.99.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
That's like I'll pay $20 for something I can make $100 on, which
exactly.
That's very hard to find. Yeah, I specialize like average shoe, $25 to $30, just constant sales that add up over time.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike. So next topic: overrated, underrated. Collecting pins. Like enamel pins. Like these right here.
Yeah.
Here's a good one.
I'd say it's overrated. They're just
Overrated, he says.
overrated. They're just too easy to lose.
Too easy to what?
Too easy to lose. They're always falling all over the place. I have a shelf out in my living room with all kinds of Pokemon pins on it. Every time
Oh,
I'm close to it, the pins will fall off. So they're
you have to
over.
put them in a box or in a cork board.
Yeah, I need a cork board.
Yeah, so I started collecting pins to put them on my hats.
Mm.
So depending on what hat, I'll throw a pin on there. But he says overrated
For collecting. I like
for
selling.
collecting. So what about selling?
Yeah, I like selling them. You find them in book bags and like on hats and stuff. I mean, it's like, hey, thrifter, sifter. But you can, really make some extra money. Say if there's a pin on a hat, you can flip the hat for $10, $12, the pin for $5 or $6, and So I definitely look at whenever I'm looking at shoes, I look to see if they have insoles, and whenever I'm looking at like hats and book bags and stuff, I'm more likely to grab one if it's got a pin on it.
Nice, good call. Yeah, especially I know a lot of people are really into collecting the Disney pins.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, some of them are worth more than others depending on what they are. And so, like, just for instance, like, is it this one? I bought this pin to go with one of my hats because I have a Detroit Tiger hat that's kind of looks like a Frosted Flakes. Yeah. So this probably came in a cereal box at one point, and I think I paid, maybe like $10 for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely going to set off my hat. But I mean, look at this. I bet you can get this for like a dime if you find it like at the flea market or something like that. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for pins for sure. Let's see what Thrifter Sifter's got a comment on here. Let's see what he's got going on. It says, I actually went thrifting yesterday in Denver. Prices were high. Yeah, prices are high in Denver. My wife, his family lives in Denver, so I'm very aware of those prices. But be on the lookout in places out west. They got a lot of the hiking gear, Patagonia, that kind of stuff that is abundant out there. So you may do pretty good, Matt. So be on the lookout for that. So overrated, underrated, Mike, reselling plush.
Underrated, very underrated. I'm looking at a plush right now that sells for like $115. So
Nice.
I like plush a lot.
I agree. What is the plush?
Can I stand up real quick and grab it?
Of course.
I don't even know what it's called right now. Listing, but it's old. It doesn't really have any sort of like markings or anything. But I looked it up because I swear I heard someone saying like plush with the plastic face or something. So I looked it up, and it's old. And the last one that sold, whenever I bought this was sold for $115 free shipping. So
nice.
Yeah, I picked it up for sure. It was $6.
Yeah. So for the people listening on the pod, Mike is holding up a monkey-like plush with suspenders, yellow shirt, red suspenders, hard plastic face, ears, hands, and feet, holding a banana.
Yep.
So I agree. I agree too. Plush is underrated. And you know what? That's funny. I made these notes before today, and I actually came across just a really random TikTok of a guy buying plush and reselling it. I don't know if you come in contact with it, but and then I went through other ones of his videos, and it's basically each video is basically a version of the same video, but he's like pushing like his Patreon. So it's like if you join his Patreon, he'll tell you which plush is worth what amount of money or whatever. So if you want to do that, go for, you know what I mean? Just be aware of who's doing that, or, make sure they have a rep or know what they're doing for sure than just paying a random stranger $5 to tell you what to buy. And all the information is out there online. I'm just really weary about that, and I just want to make sure that people are aware of
I feel like
buying courses and stuff.
with plush, the reason I feel like it sells so much is because it's hard to find like two of the same plush. I mean, usually they get bought to like, hugged and held and like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know. Like I've never seen like two of these. I mean, of course there's like brands and stuff you can look for, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just not like a guarantee when you go to the thrift store. I've been doing it for probably 2 months now, and I still have to look up every single plush before I buy it. But
Oh, for sure.
I haven't really learned anything at all. I can't say I've learned anything. So
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there. So next thing, overrated, underrated, Mike, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, overrated or underrated in your opinion?
he's overrated now.
Overrated, he said. He said now.
Yeah. I mean, I like the old like WWF The Rock, but like
Okay.
the movie Rock, I don't know. No, he's funny. He's funny, but I don't know. I like the old Rock.
Okay. Tell me why. Tell me why you think he's overrated.
Man, I don't even know. I just don't.
Is it one of those things? It's like he's gone too mainstream, so it's like I don't like him anymore because I used to know him back in the day, and now too many people, like that like what is it? That like emo kind of hipster vibe.
He's not giving anyone the people's elbow anymore, so I can't like him. I'm not
Okay.
trying to see him act. I want to see him act in the ring.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I agree. I'm a big Rock wrestling fan as well. So hopefully he'll make his appearance back in the ring at some point. But
Do you anymore? I can't even say I. Do you watch like a fan? Like, do you watch?
yes, I do watch it on a regular basis. Mhm. I
Is
watch
it
I watch everything. I'm a really big professional wrestling fan. I
is
watch
it is
what's
it
that?
worth? It's been forever. I don't. Is wrestling worth getting back into? Then would you
Of
say?
course. Of
All right.
course. It always is.
I've
There's
got.
so many good promotions now that rival WWE, like AEW, which is the new one that just popped up. They actually have a TV contract with TNT. Chris Jericho is there. Cody Rhodes is there. A couple other people. There's rumors that CM Punk, I don't know if you know who that is signing with them. But it's a good promotion. It's run by a gentleman named Tony Khan, which is the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they have a lot of money to burn, and they're doing really good stuff there. NWA is doing really good stuff. New Japan is doing good stuff. Like, I like it all, man. I love watching professional wrestling.
I was shocked. I was walking through Walmart the other day and I saw AEW figures. It's been a while since I've
Oh,
seen.
dude, I have never seen an AEW figure in the wild. Ever.
Oh, you haven't?
Never.
Yeah, I've seen a few. It's we. I mean, it's been WWE for forever.
Yeah.
No competition, but
Yeah, I have never seen them in the wild. If you see any with luchadors on them, I'm looking for. There's two luchadors. There's Phoenix, he's a luchador, and Pentagon Junior, he's a luchador. So if you see those figures, let me know. I'll give you money, and you can get them for me because I need them in my collection.
I'm always slapped through the toy section.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm looking. So I've gone to Walmart every day last week. Supposedly Funko put out a version of the Turbo Man doll, and they're hitting Walmart shelves, and mine has yet to like be stocked. So I'm going there every day in hopes to getting that Turbo Man doll for my collection.
I've been doing the same thing. I've been buying. I get probably 50% of my packing supplies for eBay sales from Walmart because they're pretty cheap. I mean, their boxes are like 58
Mhm.
cents. I go there and I'll grab like 2 or 3 boxes, and then I'll run back to like check the toys and stuff, and then I'll go over to like where the Funko Pops are. Because
Mhm.
I saw the Turbo Man. I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that for sure. I might get a couple for my collection just to keep on deck.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike. But hey, check out SummerSlam is coming up, which is a the second biggest pay per view of the year for WWE. If you, I don't know, if you were close, I can invite you and you can come to my SummerSlam party. So,
I like WWE TV or something. Is that still a thing? Like you get all
no, they sold. So it was the WWE Network was a thing, and then they partnered with NBC,
the.
and so all their streaming rights are now on Peacock,
Uh,
which is better because before I was paying $9.99 a month for all the pay per views. Now I'm paying $4.99. So
not bad.
it's not bad, and I get all the pay per views, which I used to be paying $80 for WrestleMania every year on, not including all the other pay per views.
Yeah.
But because of modern technology, you could get by certain things and get what you need. So I'll leave that there. So overrated, underrated, Mike, reselling old media like cassette tapes and VHS tapes. And I'm talking about movies, CDs with music on them, cassette tapes with albums on them.
Underrated. The money's not crazy, but whenever you can get enough and like lot them up, they sell so quick. I had like a lot of Blu-rays and a lot of DVDs that sold like instantly overnight for like full price money that I was like asking for them.
Oh,
Media mail,
nice.
so you just got to make sure you follow the rules. But yeah, media mail shipping is
Yeah.
definitely underrated. Like I wouldn't be listing a single cassette tape or VHS tape like at a time, but for lots and stuff,
Mm.
and they always sell. And I feel like CDs are kind of making a bit of a comeback, even like sealed CDs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like they are. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, especially the Gen Z generation, the younger crowd, they're starting to collect, cassette tapes and CDs and stuff like that. Just really random, things. They'll buy, because if you go to Urban Outfitters, they have like Walkmans there and stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how a couple years ago, my wife. My wife gets on me a lot because I tend to collect things. So one of the things that I collect is vinyl. So like now it's really trendy to buy like a Crosley with, vinyl record player and then, like things like that, which, you can find those like Urban Outfitters, but I feel like the same thing is happening with CDs and cassette tapes,
Definitely.
So be on the lookout for that for sure. So next thing, overrated, underrated, Mike, Charizard.
He's overrated. They
Overrated, he said.
really pumped up too many Charizard cards in these past like 25 sets. And then they're coming
What
out.
about Charizard overall as a Pokemon?
I'd say overrated as a Pokemon too. One Hydro pump from Blastoise and he's done.
Oh, well, that's true.
I don't know. I like him a lot. I got Charizard figures and Charmander cards all over the place. Like I like him a lot, but very, very overrated.
I agree on some aspects. So, Mike, overrated, underrated, Macari.
I've never sold anything on there. I would say Mercari. Mercari's the one with the lower fees, right?
Yeah, I guess. They're all because they're trying to, gain a little bit of market share just by lowering their fees.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I've never even sold anything. I'd say if you're gonna sell, go Facebook Marketplace or eBay
Mhm.
for sure. I don't know. I like the stick with like one or two.
Yeah, I
Over.
agree. Well, I know that, like yourself, I have never sold anything on Mercari, but I have bought things on Mercari, and I just don't like the overall experience on how to find things on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even there's even stuff on there, like for instance, let's say I'm looking for a Charizard card, and I'll type it in, and they'll have some of the old listings that are on there, and they'll just say sold. It's like, why are they even on there?
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't make, I don't know, like the overall interface is it could be better. So I think as of right now, currently it's overrated, but who knows, in the future, maybe it could be a rival to eBay.
So don't go check it out then. I have it downloaded on my phone.
You can do it. I mean, I would, it's always good to experience new things, of course, and just try it out.
My worst nightmare is having something listed, cross posted, and waking up and having it sold on like 2 or 3. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, I know that people have told me this before. If you ever sell something on Mercari, you don't get the money until the buyer reviews the item once it's in their possession. Do you know anything about that?
No, I never.
That's what I've heard. So if that's the case, that kind of sucks.
If that was the case, I wouldn't have any money. People that I sell to, they do not like leaving feedback.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So, overrated, underrated, Mike. And I don't know if you have this store in your area or not, but Kohl's.
Kohl's?
Kohl's.
Yeah, I have that store in my area. That store is overrated. I don't even want to think about that store.
Dude, I get so much anxiety when I go in there. Like, I can't find anything. There's so much stuff everywhere.
It is. I don't know. I probably haven't been in a Kohl's in since I've been able to drive myself. So I haven't gone near a Kohl's.
That's hilarious. That's great. And yeah, once I'm thinking about what I just said about, me having anxiety because there's so much stuff. But, thinking about that and me going to bins and digging through stuff, it's the same thing, but it's like, I don't know, it's just different. Like I get overwhelmed.
I get overwhelmed at the bins too, but I get overwhelmed by not only the people, but also the stuff that I find. So I have to keep going back. And plus, it's not even the bins, they're not even convenient. I have to drive 40, 50 minutes out of my way to get to the
snap.
It's worth it. I found some crazy stuff there.
What's the best thing you found there?
I found, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I posted a TikTok about it. I actually found some 1982 Nike shoes. I think they're women's, they're size 5. And they're brand new, never been worn. The laces are still tied together. And the price tag's still on there. There's the tag is perforated and it hasn't even been.
Were they Nike Cortezes? Or a version of that shoe, like a waffle or something?
Yeah, they're blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you listed those?
No, I'm not going to sell those.
You're just going to keep them?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put them in a box and that's going to always be my reason to go back to the Goodwill bins.
That's cool. Okay. So, word of caution, and I don't know how this shoe has survived for so many years, but I've literally have shoes behind me that I've had for so long that the soles have disintegrated because
I'm not even going to try to bend this thing. I pick it up by I'm not. Yeah, I feel like it would. I haven't pressed on the soles or anything. I just want to get a glass case as soon.
Yeah, throw some silica packets in there so it absorbs the moisture.
Yeah,
but because and then the weirdest thing, the shoes that I've actually have worn a lot that are old have lasted the test of time. Mm-hmm. It's the weirdest thing. So shoes that I've coveted that I didn't want to wear a lot because they're worth so much money or they're collector's items. Those shoes over time have fallen apart, and the ones that I would consistently wear and beat up have lasted. So if you
They're built to be worn, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. So something having to do with, I guess, the pressure, or I don't know how it all works. But if you have expensive shoes and then you want them to last a long time, put them on your feet.
Hmm.
That's my word of advice there.
I've found,
So,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
I've found shoes from the bins that, like, you know, I've done the bend test and everything on them, and then I bring them home, and as soon as I like run the bottom, like the sole underneath hot water, it will just totally peel off, and it's
Oh,
I don't know if it heats the glue up or what.
yeah.
Like twice last week, and you know, it's the worst feeling in the world whenever you spend like $3 on something and it turns out being junk, you know.
Oh,
But
that's a bummer.
I don't know why it hurts so bad. It's only like $2-3, but you know.
Because you're losing for me, you're losing out of that potential profit.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, because people always say, Dustin, my brother-in-law, he always says this too. He's like, man, it's like I just lost like $50. It's like not really. You lost like five, and you potentially lost $50. Which you got to think about that, of course. So overrated, underrated, Mike. Retail arbitrage.
I think it's overrated if you sell on eBay. I've had some luck, like sometimes on Walmart clearance and stuff. Like I've found like some really nice like holiday fleece blankets and stuff for like $1 that I've sold for profit because you know $1 for them. But I feel like, yeah, if you're sell on Amazon, that's the way to go. Like the retail arbitrage, because everything new. But for eBay, it's just for me, it hasn't been worth it. I'd say overrated.
Okay,
But
nice.
like I said, I see people killing it on Amazon with the retail arbitrage.
hmm Have you ever thought about maybe going that route a little bit down the road?
No,
No.
I don't really have too much interest in like stuff that I can find in Walmart. It's not like about the money. Like it is now because it's my full-time job. But for me, it was always like trying to own like crazy stuff that like I find at Goodwill and then being able to pass it on. That's what I like. Just stuff that, you know, you're not going to see today.
Yeah, like that treasure hunt. That I always tell people, why are you buying they say to me, why are you buying stuff for $1 and selling it for $30? It's like, because it's worth $30 and people are consistently buying it for 30, and they're looking for that item and they're willing to pay $30. So we're just kind of the middleman, the broker,
Mm-hmm.
doing all the legwork. So like, I would love to find. So as you can see, I have a Toy Story toy collection. I am missing the aliens, and I am missing the prospector in Toy Story 2. So the prospector, he's only had like two variations. One's like a super special edition, and one's like a normal one. But on eBay, last time I checked, a loose, excuse me, a loose one goes for like $200. So
You'd want them in the box though, right?
no, not necessarily. Like, I just want them because I don't have them.
Yeah.
So if you come across one, Mike, let me know.
I'm
But
all
but $200 is expensive because people are willing to pay that because they're looking to complete their collection. So
But like I said, most of the time for me, it's just being able to like pass something on. Like not
mhm.
necessarily with like the tennis shoes and stuff that I sell. Like, you know, I'm not, you know, basic pair of like Nike running shoes. Like I don't feel like it's, you know, great to pass them on like that, like how I make my money. But like, yeah, like stuff like this monkey here, like someone's gonna see this on eBay and be extremely happy that they found it on eBay. You know,
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's what I'm in it for. So
I got you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So next question, Mike, overrated, underrated, and this is the last one.
all right.
Banana splits.
Overrated. Banana, the flavor's just a little too powerful to be mixed in with anything else. You enjoy a banana on its own. You don't put it in anything, or no banana popsicle or banana splits or anything like that. Very overrated.
I agree. I do like a good Laffy Taffy banana flavor. Or the runts, the
But
little bananas.
it doesn't taste like banana. It just tastes
It
like
doesn't.
color yellow.
It tastes like yellow wax or whatever the taffy is on there. So thank you, Mike, for answering the overrated, underrated questions.
I
Uh,
was those questions could be all day long. I was very, very excited for that.
oh, fantastic! Hey, people love it. People love that segment of the show. So it's kind of I don't know. It's I like doing it. People like answering those questions. So guys, again, make sure to follow Mike on his social media platforms. They are down in the description below, and make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. The Nashville Flippers on TikTok, Instagram, and follow us on YouTube. And make sure to subscribe to the podcast, the Nashville Flippers at Gmail, or the Nashville Flippers, or This Week in Reselling. I'm gonna get to talk correctly at some point, Mike. So, and we also have another sponsor for the show. We are teaming up with the Coldest Water Bottle. As you can see, this is a very popular water bottle, if I can say it right, on TikTok. So we do have a promo code. So if you guys want to get a water bottle for the hot summer months, because it's like 100 degrees over here, dude. I don't know how hot is it over there.
It
But
was like breeze today. I loved it, but it's humid.
it's so hot. It's so hot. So use the code Flippers and get 10% off. And they got all kinds.
Look at all those colors.
What's that?
Look at all those colors. There's like
Look at all these colors, baby. Hey,
wow.
I'm probably gonna need to buy a new one for myself because the cup that I currently have that I'm drinking out of is still kind of leaking. So I'm gonna get a new one for sure. I think they have even,
the size of the water bottle up there in that girl's hands.
This one. Oh, that's the big boy. Look at that.
Wow.
A gallon, baby. So if you're working out and you don't want to lug that big old milk jug around at the gym, get you one of these gallon water jugs. You get 10% off. Save you some money. Use the code Flippers. What's that?
I think I'm going to get one for sure.
Yeah, use the code Flippers.
I will.
Get 10% off. And there is a link down in the description. And if you click that link, and it takes you right to the webpage. So, Mike, we got to talking. You gave us your opinions on overrated, underrated. So let's get to know Mike a little more. I'm excited for this. So, Mike, you said you went from part-time to full-time. Tell us the process of that. Like, was it by choice? Was it for survival mode? Or like, tell us, I know that, because of the pandemic, certain things got messed up. People were losing their jobs. And then when people could go back into their jobs, they said, you know what? I'm not going to go back. I'm going to do this reselling thing full time and work for myself. So how did it go for you, Mike?
Well, since I sold my first Pokemon card, I had absolutely no interest in working a real job anymore.
Wow. Okay.
I was just like, I just like being able to make money at the speed I'd like to make it, not, go somewhere and make a set amount for a set amount of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because like today I was just able to take the day off and relax. So but anyway, I made the first sale and I was really just trying to get away from working a real job. I cut it down to part-time after a while of selling. And then I hurt my knee. I had to get surgery.
Mm.
The reselling really helped a ton. I mean, it paid for my whole surgery. I mean, insurance paid for it, but
Yeah.
what I had to cover, reselling paid for it. And I just really enjoyed myself not having to get up and go to work at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I went back to work after my injury and after recovering from my surgery and injury, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't keep up to that level. I was working at a junkyard where I was, lifting heavy stuff on my feet all day. So I couldn't keep up anymore. And I was like, I'm going to give my 2 weeks. And I did. And I actually, the day that I gave my 2 weeks was my last day working there. So I got,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So I jumped into it 2 weeks faster than I had expected, but it's all worked out. This month has been, my first month full time. It's been my best month on eBay so far. So I'm loving every minute of it so far. I mean, obviously, I didn't want to get hurt earlier this year, but
yeah.
I think it's the reason why I'm reselling full time right now. So
That's a crazy story. What ended up happening to your knee? Like, what caused the injury?
I slipped on some ice and I tore my ACL, MCL, and PCL.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I didn't know, so I kind of like walked around on it for like 2 weeks, having the injury, not knowing what was wrong. It just kept swelling up. So I 2 weeks later, I actually slipped again on ice and fell again. So that's when I ended up getting surgery. And yeah, that's about it.
Dang.
How it
So
happened.
are you doing like physical therapy and stuff to get that knee up and running and strong again, or?
I did for like 2 weeks, but I kind of just, I'm always trying to save money however I can. So I went to physical therapy for a couple weeks and really learned how to do the exercises and got them to print out stuff for me. And I just did the physical therapy by myself at home.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it in between listings, I can do an exercise in between a listing instead of
Yeah.
house paying money to go. So yeah, I did that for a while, and now I'm 5 months later, I'm able to walk around just fine. So
Good. Good. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad that's working out for you for sure.
mhm.
So now that you're full time, man, like, do you ever like, did you get nervous? Like, were you scared? Because a lot of people, that are part time, you know, they get scared. Like for me, like, okay, so I work a full time job. I do accounting for a company. I like doing it. My job is like super chill, super chill. Like I go in there wearing shorts and flip flops and just chilling. I don't have to talk to nobody, and then I can come home when I want. It's super chill and laid back. If I was working more like in a super corporate environment, I think I would have already made the jump into full time reselling. But and I've thought of, people say, have you ever thought about doing it full time? And I'm like, yeah, but I like the stability of having a paycheck every week and then having, benefits and stuff like that. And, going full time, it has pros and cons, like you said. You're your own boss. You
Yeah.
know, everything that you put in, you're going to see, you're going to reap a reward the harder that you work because it's your business.
Mhm.
And but I don't know, man. So like, give me your thought process of that. Like, what's
It
going through your head?
it was absolutely it was absolutely terrifying. I mean, leaving there, just suddenly not having health insurance anymore. I'm like, not only do I have to like keep, pay for the day to day things like grocery shopping and maintaining, a house and stuff that like I have to pay for my own health insurance, worry about like putting money away from like retirement for myself.
Yeah.
It was terrifying, but it needed to be done. So
Hmm.
I was like, you know, I, like I said, if I didn't get hurt, I would 100% still be working a part time job. But yeah, I can't even say I was ready. I had to do it like out of necessity, and it was terrifying. But the quicker you get stuff done, like I was my first week of being full time. I don't think I listed anything. I didn't, take any steps towards getting health insurance or anything. I was just kind of like still in that like mindset of just show up for work and get a paycheck kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went a week with like 2 sales and I was like, I really got to step it up. So then I stepped it up and then I had a good week. And then I was like, you know what? I had a good week. I'm going to start making TikToks in my spare time. I had had a nice schedule planned out. So yeah, it's just been a lot of changes this month. I think I've kind of strayed away from the question, but yeah, it's just this month is just,
No, that's good because
yeah.
and we're always gonna. I know for me too. Sometimes you get in a rut. Especially if things are changing or your life is changing or something's going on in your life where it's taking a lot of your attention. So other things could suffer, like your reselling business, your hobbies, certain things like that. So any drastic change or just a different change in your life can cause that. But I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, that you're on the right path and you're working to just grow your business more
Yeah,
and more.
I bounced back quick. At least I
Yeah,
tried. So
yeah, man, that's the best that we can do. But yeah, man, and if you ever need anything from any of us, especially me, dude, just hit me up. Because sometimes listing and staying in your house all day can get kind of lonely.
yeah,
So So, but yeah, man. But thanks for answering that question because I know that some people may be hearing this and they say, "Man, I want to do it full time, but I don't know or whatever." It could give them, no pun intended, a push. Through to get them to in the right direction.
hmm yeah, I'd say yeah. If you have any thought of doing it, just do it. I mean, I guess given the circumstances, it was a little easier for me. Like it had to happen. But in addition to that, like I didn't pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college for like a specific
Hmm.
job. Kind of, you know, was kind of free to like I'm not paying school loans off, so I was a little more free to
Yeah,
do what I wanted to do, and I'm thankful for that. So,
yeah,
but yeah, if you want to do it, just I'd say just take the jump. It's uh, worth it.
for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. So I know that we're having a good conversation here, Mike. So, but I do want to touch bases on a couple other questions. I'm gonna take a couple other questions off because I don't want to keep you on for too long. But let's get into biggest flip and biggest flop. What has your biggest flip since you started reselling? What has your biggest bust? Or,
I would say my biggest flop would go back to the media that we had talked about earlier.
okay.
Uh, VHS tapes. I got sucked into the Black Diamond VHS tape.
Oh man, yeah,
50 cents, and I did see like sold comps for like $7, $8, $9. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell them 50 cents. It's a guaranteed 7, 8, $9. But yeah, that didn't. I ended up just like loading some VHSs up together and selling those off. That would definitely be my biggest flop. I'm embarrassed to say that I fell for it, but I wasn't posting mine for like $10,000 or anything like that. So
yeah, right.
you
At
know,
least you knew, and still, you probably made money on it. You know.
yeah, funny. Like I sold a few, like a Nightmare Before Christmas VHS, a Charlie Brown VHS. Like I sold a couple. I probably spent $10 and made like 30. So it was a
Yeah.
flop for sure, but not a complete loss. And
Hmm.
that my biggest flip, I found this thing. It was like for a Sling TV box. I don't know. It was like a Sling TV cable box thing.
Hmm.
Found it at Goodwill, and it still had like a piece of like wrapping paper on the bottom of it. So I'm like, oh, this thing's brand new. So I posted it brand new, and it sold that night for $350. I didn't even know.
Dang.
Like for like used, they were going for like 70 or 80. So I'm like, $70 or $80. But yeah, whenever I saw the new sold listings for over $300, yeah, I posted it for like 385, and I think sold for 350 a couple minutes later.
That's pretty good. That's a that's a good flip for sure.
Yeah, I think I paid
So
dollars for it, so or like $6. It was just like a basic electronic, so you never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So, Mike, I know that your TikTok videos they focus a lot on shoes. So, would you say? I know that we've talked a little bit, and you wouldn't call yourself a shoe expert or you specialize in shoes, but you would like to get into that.
I
So, tell
find
us a little bit about some shoes, what to look for, what has been like your learning experience. Finding these shoes at thrift.
um I would say just for me personally, it's just been the basics like the Nike, Adidas, Reebok, New Balance, like the basic shoes. I go and pick them up $6-7, like I was saying, and I'll just buy like 20 pairs when I go, and I'll pay 6 or 7, and I'll sell them all for 30 to 35. Some of them 25, some of them 40, but just right in there, they just all seem to be guaranteed sells, and whether they sit around for a little while or they sell instantly, so I don't know, I just really like it, and I like the process of cleaning them, seeing them go from like someone's worn to like
Mm.
being ready to be listed with the shoe trees in. I just really like that. So
That's good. That is a good feeling. Taking something, it's almost like a classic car. You find that barn fine, and then you bring it home and you clean it up a little, and it's just beautiful.
I found it, actually I'm making a TikTok right now. It's the only one. I i really don't know totally what I'm doing on TikTok yet. Like, I try, but
Yeah. Hey, man, you seem to be doing good. I enjoy your videos, so keep doing
I,
what you're doing.
a lot of people seem to enjoy them, but I don't really know how to like pop pictures up on the screen and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
But what was I saying about the I have a TikTok about a pair of shoes that I found at the Goodwill bins that it's in the drafts right now. I'm waiting for them to sell, but I just took them from like when I found them in the bins because I saw 3 people pass them up, and I'm like, I'm not going to give up on these shoes. If they're just going to be like grass cutting shoes for the rest of their life, I'm
Hmm.
go in the trash. So I took those, I cleaned them up in a video, and then I'm just gonna end the video whenever they finally sell, whenever that is. So uh, yeah, that's I'm experimenting with like a video that's doesn't just take place in one day, one
Okay,
that's
that's cool.
set up over time. I've never done that before, so putting a little extra time and effort into this one.
Nice, nice. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is you finding the baby shoes. Don't sleep on baby shoes.
Yeah, I mean they're the same thing with those. Even if you buy a pair that you just I don't even really look them up. They're like $1 or $1.99 at every thrift store I go to. So I just buy them. I mean, they're going to sell for more than $2 no matter what.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love the baby shoes. I'm looking at I got like 7 pairs right next to me on the shelf.
Nice. I love those Kobe Bryant hyper dunks that you found. Those baby shoes. I'm like, man, and I know the grown, I guess the adult version of that
Yeah,
shoe. So I didn't even know they made a baby shoe.
I didn't either. And yeah, I posted those and they were gone really quick.
So that probably told you that you should have bumped up the price a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hate to
You never
think.
know. You
I
never
hate.
know. I mean, you got what you wanted out of it, and someone
Yeah.
got a good deal. So
But yeah, that's a pair that yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think about like potential value or anything. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a guess, and I'm like, I'm gonna do $100, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do 150 because you can never ask for more money once you sell them.
it's
So I'm like, I'm
true.
gonna do 150. So posted them for 150, and someone sent me $140 offer. So I of course
Take
took.
it. Let's go. Right. Yeah. And then you wanted 100 for it, and you got 40 extra more bucks.
Yep, cover some
You
of those.
know. So
I don't know if there would be fees on baby shoes. I don't even remember because they were over $100 and they were sneakers.
yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah. All right, Mike. So the last question that I have for you, for any, and then we kind of touched a little base on this question. So, for any advice for anybody looking to get into reselling, what would you tell them?
I'd say just do it, whether you want to do it part time or full time. I mean, it's just so nice being able to control how much money you make and being able to like multitask when you go to the store. Like whether that's a form of like you go to Walmart and do a form of like retail arbitrage there in the clearance aisle, or go to like where I my local Goodwill is right next to a grocery store. So I'll go to Goodwill and then go to the grocery store. Just try to like incorporate some reselling into your day and just see how much extra money you can make. It's crazy. So
Yeah, I agree. Just get into it, dabble, and stay away from Beanie Babies and Black Diamond VHS tapes. Right?
yeah. But yeah, I'd say just get into it.
For sure. So, guys, that includes another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it. I'm glad for you to jump on.
Hope I did a good job.
Dude, you did a great job, man, and we'll have you on the pod more. We'll have you more on here more than once for sure.
I'll have
So,
a better background next time, I promise.
what's that?
I'll have a better background next
Dude,
time.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So that's real. That's real life right there. So it doesn't matter at all, man. But Mike, thank you so much for coming on. And guys, remember, go follow Mike Jiggly.Thrift. Oh, real quick, tell me about the name Jiggly.Thrift that you chose.
Okay, so my girlfriend really likes Jigglypuff, and I really like thrifting, and we kind of do this together. So we're
Oh,
thrift.
that's awesome.
So
Will she ever appear on any of your videos on any of your social media?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's so new for me. Even I feel uncomfortable posting myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'll throw my dog in there every once in a while or cat or something, but you know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's weird. It's wild getting used to it for sure, man.
Very weird.
So, yeah. So, all right. Who drew the picture on your profile?
Okay, so that was my friend. I used to have like an account on Instagram. I shared all my Pokemon card pictures and stuff on there, just like and then the one like it was literally a page where I shared Pokemon cards, nothing more.
Uh,
And the one morning I logged on and said your account's been permanently banned. So
what? That's
yeah.
crazy.
So I had a friend that I met like through like the Pokemon Instagram community, and
Yeah.
you know he's followed me through. He follows me now with like the reselling stuff, and he's just always been like we've always just really supported each other. And I think he drew that picture whenever he was a little kid, and he posted it like a year ago on Instagram, and I just took a screenshot of it. I'm like, I'm gonna need this one day, and sure enough, I
Oh
need.
wow. That's
So
awesome. I love it, dude. I think I saw it. I saw the content and then I saw the picture and I was like, "Yep, we're going to get along." It's like I love it. I was like, "This is great." So, but yeah, I just had to ask you that question, Mike. Sorry. I get a little sidetracked sometimes.
I don't
But,
know.
but guys, again, thank you so much for coming on, Mike. Make sure you follow Mike on all his social media platforms. They are down in the description below. And any last words, Mike?
Should I have any last words? I don't. I don't think I have any.
Okay,
I don't
well, good. That's
just
good, man.
try selling. You should really try it. If
Yes,
you
sir.
haven't, buy something from Goodwill and list it on eBay, and you won't be disappointed.
There you go. All right. Well, gang, thank you so much. And like always, my name is Ray. His name is Mike. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. See y'all. Peace.